week I'm starting, like this is week 1 of what I would call a self-improvement journey. I've always been like at the back of my head things I want to do. Never got the chance to actually execute on them. And I want to promise myself that during the next 17 weeks, because currently recording this in the first week of September 2024, 17 weeks are left. So like I made a promise to myself, in the next 17 weeks I'm going to work on myself, prioritize myself and see where it takes me. It doesn't matter even if I don't know where I'm going. And obviously since I'm just starting out, even if the quality of my videos is not as I would want it to be, I don't care. I just want to get the momentum going, and once it takes off, the pain takes off, then I will be able to like pause a bit and look at the details and what to improve, and if I actually want to continue doing this thing. I'm just going on a walk right now. So one of the things I promised myself to do during the 17 weeks is to get any source of workout. Currently I don't have the availability to like go on a gym. So I was like, let me do whatever I can right now. I can go on a walk every day outside, even though it's hot. Maybe it wasn't a very good idea to film outside today. I don't know. The traffic is too much. As I was saying, I think it's important for me right now to just gather small wins, as much small wins as I can. Once these small wins are like enough for me to actually gather the courage to do something bigger, then I'll move ahead. So the second goal I put for myself during these 17 weeks is to actually get to read one book a week. Maybe not everyone needs to do that, but I feel like I lack so much knowledge and so much wisdom, and I want to improve, gather as much information and wisdom as possible during the next like 3 to 4 years. But for me it's going to be so overwhelming if I think about it in the very long term, like a year plus. So I'm just going to think about it in the next 17 weeks. I need to read at least one book a week. That's how I'm gonna get started. And then once the momentum flows, then maybe at the end of the year, if I achieve, let's say if I achieved, like let's say 15 books or 10 books, it's still better than zero. Construction going on, so I'm sorry for the noise. As I was saying, like I think I will probably like include some insights from the books I'm reading if I find something very interesting, very worthy of like documenting and keeping in my journal. YouTube is gonna be my journal. By the way, I'm tending to read like non-fiction books mainly, but the first book I started with was actually recommended so many times, and it's a fictional book, so I think it's the only fictional book I have on the list. I don't know if anyone can actually relate to this, but then once you get to like adult working life after uni, you feel like every day is the same. Like you feel like the year is super short and the week is super long, I think. No. I don't know, but then the repetitive patterns are just too much. So I think for me the main goal is like, once I break this cycle, because this mental cycle is quite dangerous, you find yourself very unmotivated to do anything. It's very hard to keep myself going, or even like work on personal projects that have been like laying on my to-do list for so long. I don't know, but then it's just my personal opinion. I think in order to like get out of this zone, you either need like a massive strength, like external strength, or a major change that happens in your life that just wakes you up, or if this is not happening, I think you need just small wins in order to bring yourself back up. For me right now, this is the only solution I feel like is gonna work. This goes back to the point of why I want to do this. I mean, for me, recording this right now is very spontaneous. I didn't even script the video. I'm not planning to script any videos in the future because I feel like it's gonna increase the friction, and then eventually maybe it's gonna lead to me dropping the thing. These are just inner thoughts that I have been having, and I feel like if I put it out there, maybe when I look back in the future, if I ever get to look, I think it would be fantastic, like, to see. But also I feel like maybe it's gonna resonate with any person out there. I'm just doing it to have have like a digital diary, you mean like to look back on in the future. Later on things will be better. Like I'm just gonna believe in this. So yeah, I think the rant is over. I'm gonna finish my walk and get back home, finish my reading, and yeah, see you. Peace. So like I really wanted to come on here and share something, but I even highlighted the full page because it's like I really want to remind myself of this in the future. So I'm just gonna like summarize it for you guys. If anyone is watching this. So basically like there's this boy, he wanted to go to a wise man to ask the wise man how to find happiness in life. And then so basically the boy asks the man like, how do I find happiness in life? And then the man, he says he was a very busy man, so he didn't actually give time to the boy. He was like, I'm busy right now, you can just go around my house and take a tour around the house for like a few hours and then come back once I'm done, because there was this event in his house and he was like very busy with the guests. So the wise man, he tells the boy, you go around the house, but then on one condition, that you have to keep carrying this spoon. He gave him a spoon that has oil in it. He was like, you have to keep carrying the spoon without spilling the oil. So the boy goes around like the house. All his focus was about the spoon. He doesn't want to like spill the oil. And then after like 2 hours, he goes back to the wise man, and then the wise man will be like, did you notice anything? Did you notice the beautiful parchments in my library? Did you notice like the garden? Did you observe anything in the house? And then the boy is like, no, I was only focused on the oil, like the spoon. So the wise man is like, go back, observe the house, and then explore the place and come back to me again once you're done. So the boy is like relieved. Okay, fine, I'll just go and like explore the house. So he goes around, he explores the palace and like roams around, and then once he comes back later, he describes everything he saw in the house like to the wise man, like all the beautiful things he saw. And then the wise man is like, what about my spoon? Where's the oil? The oil is not there. So the boy is like, he looks down at the spoon and he's like, oh, the oil is gone. And I think this is just like a very metaphoric way of like thinking about life, and in a way that sometimes we have a bigger goal and then we focus on the bigger goal way too much, that we forget to like enjoy the moment, enjoy the present, enjoy the details of the journey, and embrace like both the bad and good things in our life. But also like sometimes when we focus too much on the details, we lose track of the main goal. We lose track of our destiny, or like the initial goal that we had. Like, why did we even start this thing in the first place? Like, we lose track, we forget. I think it's a life lesson that we always need to like have a north star, and like sort of like a big goal that leads or guides through the journey. But then also like sometimes we need to like focus less on the goal and actually enjoy the process, enjoy the journey, like enjoy everything that comes with it, whether good or bad, whether it's like a memory or something you want to keep in the future, or whether it's something like you want to get over and like forget. I think this book is just like a very good book filled with life lessons. You just read the story and you feel like, oh, this applies to my life. Like once I'm done, I think I'm gonna like revisit all my highlights. So yeah, I'm almost like halfway. I think it's time for me to sleep, so I'm just gonna go. I might just read a few more pages and sleep. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye. Hi. So it has been a few days since the last time you guys saw me. It's actually 11:53 p.m. Today is Monday, 9 September. So I think it has been almost a week, I think, or a few days since I last filmed. I am actually getting used to like filming. I think it's like very awkward for me to like hold the camera and film whatever I'm doing. So for now, I'm just getting used to like the idea of filming, because I want to, as I said, document everything towards the new goals that I set for myself in the next like 17 weeks until the end of the year. So if I do actually look at the first week, it it was quite interesting. There was a lot of progress in terms of like the goals I set for myself and how much I achieved from them. And also there was like downside in terms of like mental health. So everything was going well until yesterday, which is Sunday. So before this week started, I was never into reading books. I used to like reading, but then so whenever I'm trying to read, it's really hard for me to like focus and grasp the information that I'm reading unless it's like a very interesting topic for me. For the past like 2 years or so, I have been trying to listen to audiobooks, and I thought listening will kind of like open my curiosity towards like books and also like probably help me get into like reading sometime. But then kind of like midway I stopped listening to audiobooks because I felt like even when I'm listening to audiobooks, I'm not grasping the information. Sometimes I find myself wanting to go back and listen to the whole thing again because I was like doing some other things while listening, and then I couldn't actually like understand the idea behind what I'm listening. So I think I overthought about it, but then nevertheless, I feel like all what I did kind of led to the point in my life which I'm living right now, which is like I'm so eager to read more and learn more and find more knowledge and wisdom. I'm glad I finished my first book, which is the book I set for myself during the first week. And that book is actually The Alchemist. I think I already shared a couple of things from this book. It was a great first book to start with, like during the challenge of reading. I think it's a very easy read. It's a fiction book. It has like lots of life perspectives, philosophies about life, and I feel like for each person, like for me personally, like whenever I was reading, there were so many paragraphs which I had like to pause and like pause the reading just to interpret the paragraph, even though the context of the paragraph is suited for the fictional story in the book. But most of the time I found myself like just interpreting the paragraph on my own life, the context of the paragraph, like the meaning behind the paragraph to my state of life right now, or the current situation where I'm in my life. Definitely gonna revisit this book in the future. I think for someone who read this book already, if you visit the book or like revisit the book again, there will definitely be like some interpretations that you had in the past that are different right now in the current era of your life. It's like the first time you read the book, you will have different interpretations from the second and third time depending on which life point you're in. I think it was a very, very good read, and I'm so proud of myself for actually finishing the book. Like dedicating myself to like one task and doing it. And I understand that, The Alchemist is probably a very easy read for like people who are used to reading, but for me as a person who couldn't barely read one book a year, to finish this book within a week, I was like, I'm so proud of myself. My next book for this week actually is Think and Grow Rich, and I already got the physical copy. I'm not sure how I'm gonna continue reading, go for physical copies, or I'm gonna buy a Kindle or something maybe in the future, but for now I'm just letting things go like the simplest way possible and letting the momentum carry itself. I just want the momentum to be there, so that I think I already talked about this before, but I think momentum is very important in terms of like getting into a new habit and getting into a new thing that you weren't used to it before. So this is the book for this week. I was hoping to sleep before midnight, but then it's almost midnight now. It's actually midnight. It's 12. Today I actually went on a walk, and then I had few stretching sessions. Few stretching exercises that I did. Overall, I'm happy. But if I'm gonna go back to my first point, about the accomplishment versus the things that I don't necessarily want to take with me to the next week. And there is one more thing I wanted to talk about, which is the other goal I set for myself during the first week, which was getting into the daily walk. I managed to go on 4 walks, I think, for 3 days, and I think for this week I'm aiming for 4 days because it's practical, and also I think I can do it. It's within my range to go. In terms of walking, getting my steps done, I set the goal to be 8k steps. Most of the days I got 9k to 10k, so it's fine. I think 8k is a very good reachable goal for me in terms of the walking. So I think for these 2 goals I was pretty happy with my progress. When it comes to planning the day ahead, I feel during the weekdays I don't have pretty much time to plan. To actually think and plan. I just have time to execute upon the plan which was already done by me beforehand. I set for myself come home after work, do little chores, prepare my food, and then also go for a walk, and then do stretching, and then probably read and then sleep. This was pretty much my routine during the first week. But then the tricky part was the weekend. Actually didn't have like a clear plan of what I want to do. And then Sunday I was just overthinking about so many things, and I had this like sudden rush train of thoughts that got me super overwhelmed. I felt so paralyzed, and I was dwelling over like older thought patterns regarding my career, my goals, and what I want my life to be, and like things that I want to change in my life. I think because of the lack of plan that I had for my day, my brain kept going back in like ruminations. And because the week structure is quite obvious and it's quite like easy to structure because I have very limited hours after work, for me it's like easy to structure these hours. And also like if I fall behind one day, then the next day automatically get reset because of work. So I think for me now it's like the tricky part is the weekend, so I need to allow myself to have some time to like relax and also reflect on the week before and see which parts you want to progress on, which parts you want to work on, which parts you were happy about, which parts you want to carry on to the next week, which parts you don't want to carry on with you to the next week, you just want to leave it. It's important to do these kind of mental resets. So I think for the most part I'm happy about the last week. Overall, like, even I think I will plan the evening in such a way that Sunday evening will be like a reflecting of time upon the week, and also planning the week ahead. I think it's just the perfect time to do that. And the beginning of any change in life, it's very easy for our minds to just dwell over the past and like take us back, or feel like the new place is just not the comfort zone, and you will find resistance from your mind, your brain, to go back to the same old habits, even though your subconscious knows that these habits will not get you anywhere and it's just gonna take you over and over like in circles. But it's just very hard to like control these thoughts if you're not keeping yourself busy with something else more important that takes you forward towards your goals, or at least keeps you busy from the unnecessary thoughts. This is like my take from week 1. I think it was too long. I think for me now, like, the filming style is just chaotic. I have no style, I have no structure, and I'm just filming whenever I feel like I want to talk about something. For week 2, I'll try my best to film things. I usually, when I'm doing something, I completely forget like if I'm gonna film, and then after I'm done I remember, oh, I should have filmed this. This week I'll try my best to incorporate filming in my daily things. During my work hours it's like very impossible for me to film anything because it's just work. So I'll try my best to like film maybe after work if I'm doing some things, maybe during reading, I don't know, maybe just share a few insights from my read. For now, the most part is just I want to get the momentum going. I want to like take off few wins, small wins every day. Hopefully, like, it just takes me step by step into somewhere better, and I can do much more. This video is just a crap video. I'm just hoping that maybe it relates to somewhere out there. Maybe no one is gonna see this video. I'm just gonna keep it as my own digital journal, as I said, or digital diary for me to like come back in the future and see where I started, how I was feeling when I started, because we tend to forget. And I think for me, even like on this Sunday afternoon, like yesterday, I had to remind myself, okay, this week was a good week. Like, you did 1, 2, 3, like, you set yourself a goal and you achieved this goal. So I think it was just like, without these small wins that I had gathered during the week, I think it would have been really hard for me to get out of the dangerous mental space that I was in on Sunday afternoon and get back on track. So very important to like gather the small wins that you have every day, so that when the time comes and you have a hard time, or you have like attacking thoughts in the back of your head, there's something to back you up, to stand back again on your feet and defend yourself against these thoughts and take yourself away from that mental space. So yeah, I think mental space is very important in the beginning, especially. I don't know where exactly I want to head to, like exactly where, but I have like an overall navigation of what I want to do now that will for sure, inshallah, like lead me into something better. And yeah, hopefully this week is gonna be better than last week. We get to do more things and hopefully more productive, useful things towards our goals. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't want to blend in both weeks because I was thinking about blending, but I think I will take my time to edit the first week, upload it, and see how much it takes, because I feel like for me editing is still very new. I still take time and things, so I think for me now it's like, even if I skip parts and put parts, it's fine, as long as I give the full overall view of the week and tick off the boxes. I want to make a new schedule and just tick off the boxes so I can see it visually in front of me, like, you know, the walks, the pages I'm reading, the small wins I'm gathering every day. Hopefully, I hope you guys stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy until the next video. I feel like I have no idea if someone is gonna watch this video, but I hope if someone is watching, I hope that you're good, and I hope to see you in the next video. So yeah, thank you, bye.